All right. Hey, everybody. So, last time I did a live stream, I said I was going to look into learning some more about Soleimani and Ron and history between the two. Hold on a second. Um, so, and I'll admit, I don't know as much as I should on the topic. So, I got into a bit of a rabbit hole, started doing some research, and it's a bit scattered at this point. Like I don't have anything like really like laid out as far as like video or presentation, but just doing some general research, and it seems to boil down to like three things: oil, the CIA, money. You know, of course, everything's ruled by money. Everything that we do is ruled by money. But specifically the oil industry, and this is how it it got started, was I think it was back in 19, let me see, look at my notes, 1953. Now 1947 was when the CIA was created. 1953 was the coup that we did to overthrow the Iranian government. And that's when everything started going downhill. That's when they started to become a religious state, and a hostage crisis later on. I mean, there's a very dark and twisted relationship that we've had with them for decades, almost a century now. And another person that keeps coming back into the picture is the Bush family. Now, I didn't start out doing research on the Bush family, but it just kept coming up over and over and over again. The same names. And it's, let's see, let me get this right. George H.W. Bush's father. It started with him, and they were in the not oil, steel industry with Nazis. Same as the Koch brothers. I mean, it's similar, like backstory. Evil supervillain backstory. Did some money, business with the Nazis. They got started making it rich. Well, George H.W. Bush has ties to every single president going as far back as Eisenhower. Direct ties. Either knew them personally, worked under them, was appointed by them, and there's documents to prove Operation Black Eagle, Operation, uh, what was it? Black Eagle, Operation Ajax, all this, but it all goes back to uh, Iran told us that they weren't going to sell their oil, and instead they nationalized their oil. And ever since then, it's we have been trying to attack them, undermine them in any way possible. Now, also, I know that I think Israel plays a part in it. Now, that's just I'm still researching, but hopefully I'll learn some more about that, because I really just started learning about like Israel, and like I know some things, but not like a whole lot to be knowledgeable to go in here and really talk about it. But man, I mean, I've spent hours. I've got pages and pages of notes of just the Bush family and their ties to oil, ties to the government, uh, just the horrific things that he's done. And then, of course, even Jeb comes into it. I thought Jeb was a complete just blundering idiot, but apparently he even was part of this, trying to defend, his dad and stuff back in the was it 80s or 90s. It's crazy. But hopefully, just let you know, I haven't forgotten. I have been doing research. Like I said, I don't really have a whole lot where I can lay anything out, like do a solid video on it, but you know, I'm working on it. I haven't forgotten y'all. So let's see what the chat we got. Jamie and Brian. Yeah, Peter. He said if another country did 1/100th to the U.S. that we've done to Iran, we would have nuked them. Yeah, I did kind of go off the grid there for a little bit, but I'm back. But yeah, I got by. Another thing was I needed to get some dental work done. Oh, why is that so bright? I needed to get some dental work done, so I got that done earlier this week. So got my teeth fixed. Still trying to get used to talking, but yeah, uh, that's about it for right now. Let me see if there was anything. Yeah, but that was the big thing. Okay, so not only does Bush have ties, why is this so bright? So he's got ties to all these presidents, all these different, CIA projects, operations throughout the decades. But also, when you think about it, they have touched almost every single major event in history has been touched by the CIA, oil, Bush family. That whole group of people. I mean, 9/11, Contras, the all these people that governments that are being overthrown, these democracy. And then I started looking into which countries have the biggest reserves of oil. Well, it's all these countries that all of a sudden need democracy, or we've already brought democracy to them. There's direct ties, and it's not just the people that own the oil, but there's people that own the pipelines that are saying to make a profit from it. The military industrial complex. I mean, when you're trying to like nail down like who exactly is pulling the strings, it's hard to because there's so many different ways that they extract money from war and death and pollution that it's hard to track down exactly like this guy did it. It's always like this vague cloaked figure, that's hiding behind an LLC or MLP or something. So the sources that I used for this, um, there was one that I listened to that was really informative about George Bush, and it was an episode of The Dollop about George Bush. I'll have to post it in the comments exactly what episode it was. I don't remember the number, but it was mind blowing. And then also I looked on let's see. Of course, there's the Wesley Clark 7 countries in 5 years, which kind of made me start to look into like all these different countries and our relationship. What we've done, our foreign policy with them over the years. Let's see, NBC News. I found an article on NBC News called "Planned Attacks Against U.S. Targets in Syria, Lebanon Were a Reason for a Soleimani Strike, Say Officials," by Carol E. Lee. Who else? I try to cite all my sources here, but I've got a lot. There's a lot of notes. Use Wikipedia, I think, for the largest oil and gas companies, largest oil reserves. But that's what I've got so far, and I'm looking more into it. And once I can form a coherent thought about this stuff, I'll get on here and I'll do a whole show about it. But right now I got to get to work, and these pizzas aren't going to make themselves. So, all right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back very soon with everything that I found. So, see you later.